No, it's episode 5, season 2. This is pre-recorded because I'm actually in Ireland as you're watching this.
Yes, you're invisible. This is
Invisible.
holographic version of Matt.
Special version. And yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Well, the most common blocks which slows down manifestation. Sorry, I had to really read it because I was like, we were trying to come up with the title for it.
We knew what we want to say. We know what we want to talk about, as always. But yeah, we had a bit of my brain.
We were brainstorming here.
Because I'm on holiday. It's because I'm projecting myself into the future to make this video, especially for you guys.
Welcome to my world, right?
Yeah.
All right then.
So, Angg, we did a video. I think it was episode number 2.
We
talked about manifestation. So if you haven't checked that one out yet or listened to it on the podcast, go and check it out now. And this is kind of a bit of a follow-on. But no, don't go now. If you're watching it live, actually, what am I talking about? No, stay here. Don't go, please. So we're talking about common things that we can... And actually, this is just in... I think even without manifestation, what we're going to talk about today is going to be really useful for things that we do say within ourselves. Quite easily we can get caught up saying maybe something that's a little bit limiting and we don't realise we're saying it.
Well, this is basically instead of talking riddles, we're gonna, I think, go straight into it.
I like riddles. Riddle me this.
Well, holographic version is supposed to be the improved version as far as I'm concerned. So guys, like you said, with episode 2, we were talking about manifestations and different techniques of how to bring things to reality, things that are really close to your heart and really the things that you really want. But we didn't touch on what we do on a daily basis that slows the process down and makes people really frustrated and quite often give up on trying because they don't see positive results of their practice. So one of the most common mistakes, shall I say, we do on a daily basis without even realizing, and I will explain in a second why, is the words we are using or speaking, statements we are making that are actually contradictory.
They go against it, right?
So imagine this, for example, if you want to manifest financial abundance, but then you keep saying to yourself, like, everything what I've achieved in my life, I work hard for it, or nothing comes easy to me, or you've heard that
I will this
as well. The thing is, when you say I will, it's like you're putting things at distance, and every moment you say it, it's still at distance. So what you have to do, you have to, instead of making this statement, I will be da 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 da, you have to start saying I am. You have to just embody that feeling. You have to practice it now in order to make it happen.
I am, I have.
Yes.
I got it.
But going back to those statements I've mentioned before, ask yourself, where have you heard those statements before? Because obviously, if you're playing those words or you're saying those words, just from your subconscious mind, it's on autopilot.
I think we've kind of talked about stuff like this before, and I think we pick stuff up without realising it.
Oh, we do.
A little bit from social circle, but even just sat. I've said this loads of times. We can be sat in a cafe or whatever, and there's a conversation going on behind you, and it's their private, personal conversation. You may not even be listening, but for you know, there could be. I'm not saying don't go anywhere, but just be mindful of what's
be aware,
being coming in. And I think when you practice, I think so. It comes out.
It's like ingrained in culture.
Right there, you'll catch it. So when you start to work it, you'll catch those little words. And you'll be able to correct yourself, and it does take practice. So, as amazing as I am, no one's perfect, basically. So don't be hard on yourself with it. No,
I am perfect.
No, be boring if you was.
And that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we are not sat in water. Just because it looks like we are.
I'm mermaid.
Yeah, mermaid. Yeah,
mermaid.
Yeah,
hard word. Anyway.
Load of ships just crashed into the rocks. So. Anyway, we got a bit off subject there.
Yeah, your fault. That's the holographic glitch, I would say. But
glitch in the matrix.
Glitch in the matrix.
So yes,
going back to the topic, the statements we're making on a regular basis, are quite often slowing our process down. So just be conscious, just become more aware of what sort of words you're speaking, And when you are participating in a conversation where other people are using those statements, I would not reply in how to say it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's because sometimes when people are trying to pull you in a negative conversation, and when you start participating in that conversation, you also lower your energy, which means you're slowing your process down. So, you know, you don't have to prove them wrong. You don't have to say to them that they are doing something wrong or saying something wrong. You just have it, you know, at the back of your mind. That this is how it works. And in fact, when you experience that, it just goes. So this is like living proof. Like this is what we're doing to ourselves that is stopping us from achieving what we want. Because if you listen to those people who are great achievers, people who achieved, you know, really great things, they hardly ever speak against themselves.
No.
They always say things in a positive manner to empower themselves, to empower their vision, and also empower those who are around them. You know, so they're not gonna be belittling themselves with those statements. They became really aware of what they speak, you know, very early.
Yeah.
And some of them did that consciously, some of them unconsciously, but they knew that if you speak against yourself, it's not gonna be beneficial to you in any way.
Do you know what, Ange? I'm going to be open book. It's just tough stuff going on for me at the moment.
Yeah.
And what I have found is that by practicing this, it helps so much. Because I can, and don't get me wrong, I've had those moments where it's like, oh my God, what is going on? And that's human. But I have found this is really, like, practicing this has helped a lot. And then I started to notice little things that even yesterday I was trying to sort something out. So I'm consciously working on being grateful for the things that are working. Mm-hmm. That are, you know, that bit's, it might not be the full 100% yet, but do you know what? 1% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Do you remember I mentioned that on numerous occasions, but I'm gonna mention that again because I don't think you can ever get bored of it.
No.
Because it's very important. If you have 10 things in your life, right, and 9 things is not working, and 1 thing is working, if you focus on the 1 thing that is working, because you're gonna be practicing gratitude and raising your vibration, the rest 9, well, how am I saying this? The other 9.
The other 9.
The other 9, that's the word. The other 9 will have to raise their vibration and just, you know, even out with this one that you've been practicing. But it works both ways. If you have 9 things that are working and 1 that is not working, and you focus on the one that is not working, you're gonna destroy the other 9. This is how powerful we are.
Yeah.
Because everything is about vibration. So this is the second thing I would suggest, you know, to practice every single day. Gratitude. Be grateful for everything what you have. Doesn't matter how big or small. You might be, you know, dreaming about this, you know, big house, I don't know, great car, love of your life, whatever it is. But at this moment, you can really appreciate a cup of coffee you have, right? There is plenty of people in the world that they might not have that luxury. I know that it might sound small to you, but it's not that small to some. So still, you know, appreciate that. Appreciate
To
that.
think big, you've also got to think, it starts with small steps. So
don't take things for granted.
No.
Don't take things for granted. And even things like air, right? We are breathing this air that is given to us for free in such abundance. And if you can express gratitude towards things even like that, what you're gonna notice is that you're gonna start feeling better just right here, right now. And this is the all work that you have to do. The most important thing is just to feel good. And we often, what we do, we condition our good feeling upon the results we are aiming for, right? So let's say I'm gonna be happy when I have this car. I'm gonna be happy when I have 10,000 in my bank account. I'm gonna be happy, you know, you can just add to the list. But if you're gonna start practicing this good feeling of satisfaction, happiness right here, right now, what you actually do, you're creating a shortcut to your results because you're already feeling those feelings that you want to feel when you're gonna get those things. And don't get me wrong, it's not like because you're gonna feel, you know, like this for no reason, those things that you're aiming for will never come. They will, and they will come much faster. But your journey towards it will be much more pleasant. You will be feeling good every single day, and you can do it now. You can do it now by practicing gratitude.
Well said. Mic drop. But you know what? wherever someone's at. So let's say it's that worst case. It is tiring. So you might as well be tired thinking good stuff.
I don't think you can get tired of thinking good stuff.
That's what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
like, why, like the consuming yourself with everything that's wrong is going to be tiring. So why not put that energy into the absolute opposite of it?
I think
Is what I'm
again, this
getting
is
at, yeah,
habit.
yeah.
You know,
It is
look
habit,
at this
yeah, yeah.
society. We have this engraved in our head that we need to worry. And look at the social media and TV. Don't get me wrong. If you're focused on finding good stuff, you will find good stuff even on TV or on social media. But you have to really be picky what you're
Yeah.
allowing to your world.
Yes, yes.
And because those things will influence you whether you want it or not. So I just lost my thought.
You've got to be picky with.
You could have. I don't know why I was just
stuff.
like.
You went back home for a little bit, was it?
For
Yeah.
Mitaka, yeah. But yes, you have
But
to be really
no,
picky.
you have got to be picky, and I think we've talked about setting boundaries, and it is setting boundaries, and I'm sure most of the listeners and people watching are very empathic, and we want to help people, we want to do good for people, but I understand you can pick and choose, and it's okay. And I think people,
You have to be picky.
the right people, understand that.
They will.
Do you know what I mean?
And if they don't, that's okay too.
That's okay, yeah, definitely.
So I know what I was leading to. So obviously, as you're.
I filled that up pretty good.
Thank you very much. As you're picking the source of influence that you're exposing yourself to, right? Look, you're still gonna experience moments, or you're gonna encounter people, or source of informations that will trigger something in you when you're gonna be a little bit more negative. Listen, don't judge that feeling, okay? Just accept it as it is, because if you're gonna start pondering over it and really drilling the subject, you're automatically gonna go deeper, deeper, and deeper, and you're gonna prolong the period of time you're gonna spend in this negative energy, right? So if you can realize that you feel the emotions and you are not your emotions, that will help you to distance yourself from whatever you experience. And that also requires practice. It really does. Because this level of awareness is practice. You don't have it, just like, maybe some people do, I definitely had to, train myself. And especially when you're at the beginning of this journey, when you're becoming more aware and you're starting to practice those things, it's like with everything, like with training. It will go well, and it will go not so well, and then well and not so well. But this is like changing the habits of thinking, or even picking the type of influence you're exposing yourself to. Is like, well, let's say you're exposed to those negative things, and you practice the negative or limiting beliefs for quite some time. You become aware and you won't practice different, right? So you start seeing things improving, but then because those things are overlapping, like in between you have a mixture of both. So it's working and it's not working, and it's working and it's not working, before you transition completely to new set of new beliefs, new practices that are engraved in you, okay? So in this transition period, you're gonna have a mishmash of everything, and this is where people are going wrong, because they are thinking this shit is not working.
Yeah.
Because they have, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I want you to be aware of this, that this is a natural way of how things are, okay? When something is changing, the things are overlapping, they never go like this. You can't go 180 degrees. You've heard this before, right? You can't just change 180 just within 1 minute. You have to have that transition period, so you're gonna have a mixture of both, and give yourself permission to experience that mixture and be easy about it, because the more easy you are about it, the transition is just this overlapping part, it becomes smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
another microphone drop.
Another microphone drop. You're
Yeah.
on fire.
This girl is on fire.
So
Naturally.
So that's talking about the words that we use. What other things do we need to consider when we are manifesting as well? I mean, is it? I've started writing things down, so I'm saying it out loud. I'm spending a bit of time just to closed off, really. Close myself off and put some.
I'll tell you what works for me very well.
And I love
right?
the way you said that, because I think that's really important. It's going to be different for everyone, right?
It will be different for everyone, but what works for me is, as soon as I open my eyes, I set intention for the day, how I want to feel. Okay, and for example, you're gonna laugh. When I wake up in the morning, I say, "Good morning, world. I'm ready." Right? Something like that, and I'm just thinking, okay, so universe, show me how good it can get today. Again, I even set this as alarm, so when my alarm goes off, I have this note coming up on my screen. So I just straight away am exposed to this thought that I want to practice, right? And that's the very first thing I see as soon as I open my eyes in the morning. I just said that twice, but that was
Is
important.
your phone just hovering over your face then?
Yeah, like this. So this is what I've noticed works for me really well. And you know very well, I meditate every day, and I find that I do not check my social media, don't check my emails, don't check anything what is work related when I wake up first in the morning, because I want to set the vibrational standards for myself for that day, because then when I do that, I feel much better. So whatever I encounter, whatever I do, I'm gonna have a much better view and a much better approach that will be more beneficial to me, only because I've decided to set this right first. And because I've been doing this like every single day, like religiously, I can tell there is such a big difference when I don't do it, to a point that is uncomfortable. Even though I have still a very good day,
Yeah.
I can feel the difference. There's something missing. So for me, these kind of practices, they are as natural to me as brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require much time. So you might say, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have time. I think this is another limiting belief you're putting on yourself.
Definitely.
Because who said you cannot wake up 15-20 minutes earlier just to sit down and set positive intention for the day? The 20 minutes that will make your day fantastic, the entire day fantastic, right? So you are becoming...
Well, what would you rather do? Cut
Charge.
a tree down with a blunt saw,
Yeah,
or spend 20 minutes sharpening that to cut the tree down?
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say it that way as well.
I did.
The graphic version of you looks very proud right now.
I said something profound.
So it's really, I think this is one of the best investments I've ever made, those 20 minutes.
Well, time is the best investment. What
It
you
is.
put into your time.
It is. But I can tell you, when I sit down, I close my eyes and I just intentionally quiet my mind. When I open my eyes afterwards, I just feel amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that then I am bringing the best version of myself. So it's not only benefiting me, but it's benefiting everybody around me. And like I said, we practice those manifestations because we manifest whether we want it or not, whether we do it intentionally or not. We manifest every single day, every single minute.
Which is why it's so important to be mindful of what you are thinking, because you could be manifesting some crap that you really don't want.
Yeah.
So,
But just spend that time, even 10 minutes, even if this is just 10 minutes, just sit down and think, how would you like your day to be and what you're grateful for? I think this is such a big thing, and massive shortcut to everything, gratitude.
yeah.
Even if you're sitting there, you don't feel like you want to close your eyes, but if you can spend 10 minutes in peace, just enjoy your coffee and just focus on all of those good things that you have in life, doesn't matter how big or small, you'll start changing the course in your life, and
I
how
think
you experience
also
it.
actually people around you will notice the positivity from it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And they ask
You'll-
what sort
you'll
of
attract-
magic you're swelling, It's like, well, this is what I do. No, it can't be that.
But I mean, you'll attract more greatness into your life, for sure. For sure.
So do you have any tips?
Do you know
yourself,
what? Yeah, I think it actually, if you've not tried it before and you're not sure how to meditate, just go on YouTube and find something that's gonna. I've looked at a few. Some were great, and some it just wasn't quite for me. That one you're sharing is fantastic, and I just worked that one over and over, really. And or I'll go on Spotify and just put maybe some bit more like spiritual cleansing music, whatever. I like that. So I'm not saying that's what you got. Same thing. It's just, I think if you've not done it before, not sure, then well, you've got nothing to lose, and you can. There's plenty of guided meditations to get yourself started on it. Well, I would
Just
start
pick
there.
the one that resonates
Yeah.
with you, because
You could go on a course if you want.
Yeah.
There's people out that run these sort of courses as well, or workshops. But I'd start there. Good thing about signing up to something though is you're most likely to see it through. So you got to know your own self-discipline with it. And it might be that you just set that on the calendar or some, set that time and block it out. We're going into a bit of a different subject of time management, but I would block it out on your calendar, the thing like these things, even fitness, health, all this kind of thing, time with your family, block it out and then fit everything else that's work which we have got to do, like block it out, fit it around. But I'm going a bit off subject really, but then it's still relevant. Come back.
Everything is relevant, to be fair.
Yeah, and even like we're in the Pittville Park in Cheltenham, so just sat here is nice, and you don't have to have anything going on in your head to meditate. It's just a bit of peace and quiet.
Well, this is actually what the whole meditation is about, right? It's about quieting your mind.
Yeah.
So sometimes sitting in a place like this, we are really blessed. I'm so grateful that we have literally something like this, on our doorstep, because it's 5 minutes to get here in the car. And we have a waterfall next to us, and all you have to do is just sit down and just even stare, into the water, or just watch the birds swimming on this little lake, or just watch the trees, and that will calm you down. And again, we are a little bit off the topic, but nature vibrates at a very high frequency, which we respond to. Okay, so without you doing anything, you're getting benefits from being surrounded by trees and nature. It's just happening naturally, and all you have to do is just make that decision, get your monkey butt to a place like this, sit down and give yourself permission just to chill for a few minutes. And that's the swans. So that's a sign for you. If you're looking for a sign, there we go. There was 2 of them, right? So, they came for some food. See?
Feeding time.
Perfect.
Anything else, Ange?
Huh?
Any more tips?
So we spoke about the words and statements we make, unconsciously. That.
Oh, I got one. Sorry, 369.
All right. So in a second, in a minute.
Want it now?
In a minute. So the statements, remember, just listen to your own words you're speaking, because they are very powerful and they can slow down your manifestation.
Yeah.
Okay, so manifestation is always working. The question is what sort of stuff you're manifesting. Which words are more stronger? Because remember, when we do practice new thing, before it becomes habit, it's just a thought that you keep thinking. Belief is the thought that we keep thinking. So you've been practicing some of those negative statements that were engraved in you by an environment, you learned from childhood, that have been playing out from automatic mode and interfering with whatever you want to create in your life, right? And because you don't think about them, you can tell they are your habit. The habit of thought, they are your belief. And now you have to change them very consciously. So when you're creating new habits, like new way of thinking, more positive, thinking, you will have the mixture of both, and you have to choose, which one you want to practice more. But like I said, because you're creating new, because it's not habit yet, it requires consistency and awareness. Okay, so just keep working on it and allow it to transform naturally. Because what is happening, you're gonna stop using those that don't serve you anymore, and you're gonna be practicing those that you want to practice, and eventually they will become your second nature, so you won't even have to think about it consciously. Does that make sense? Right? What was the second one? Do you remember? We should write those things down instead of going with the flow, So and that's how people come and relax in this place. Some people fish, and that's also another way of meditating. because you can imagine watching this on the water. What do you call that? I know
Sorry,
only
I
in
got-
Polish.
I got
When you fish,
a worm.
no, that thing that is
Hook.
actually not hooked. That thing that's floating on the
I'm
water.
not a fisher.
So the
I've gotta go
floating thing on the
hopefully
floater.
fishing
Okay, let's say floater.
Don't say floater.
No?
That's something else.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll tell you after.
I did it again.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oops.
Oops, I did it again.
Well,
But
it could be. It probably could. I don't know. I'm not.
anyway,
I'm going to get.
you get the
sidetracked.
drift,
Yeah.
right? You get the drift.
Yeah, my
So,
drift.
people who fish, they keep watching that thing, and that is a very meditative state they are getting themselves into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very relaxing.
Yeah.
So, you see, there is so many different ways. Just find your way that will help you to raise your vibration, relax your mind, and also increase your ability to manifest the things you want.
Brilliant. Let's finish up with this 369.
All right. So, do you want to go about it, or shall I talk about it?
Off you go.
Off we go.
So basically, with 369, it's manifesting something that you want throughout the day. Yeah.
So it's a form of affirmation that
Yeah.
you practice.
Yeah.
369 are the most powerful numbers in the universe, and
So you're writing down a statement,
you're writing
like,
down the
as if
statements.
you've got it,
Yes.
and you're going to write it 3 times in the morning,
6 times in the afternoon,
and then 9 times in
in the evening. Yeah.
And I think something that's quite important about it is as you're writing, it should take about 17 seconds, something like that.
The 17 seconds rule actually now is less than 17 seconds because everything is just speeding up. But we're not gonna go into it. So, beam me up, Scotty. Dear God. 17 seconds. This is how long it takes to change your vibrational output. Okay, so if you think about something for 17 seconds, because you can focus on one thing at a time, there's no such thing like multitasking. We're not gonna talk about it. It takes 17 seconds to direct the thought and direct the energy, consciously. So imagine if you make statements 3 times in the morning, you actually get that ball rolling. And like I said, if you can combine it with the gratitude and appreciation first in the morning, it's gonna be super powerful. In the afternoon, six times is gonna be longer than 17 seconds, just to keep that energy going, keep that energy flowing. And then 9 in the evening, especially before you go to bed, this is something what we haven't said before, but I'm gonna say it. If you do it straight before you go to bed, because you're consciously reminding yourself of where you're going and who you are, the new version of you, and you're visualizing it. When you go to sleep, this is the state of mind, the vibration you actually living and going into slumber. And what it means the very first moment when you open your eyes in the morning, you're gonna wake up in the same state of mind, because it's like the vibration you are living night before, you entering the same vibration first in the morning after opening your eyes. So I'm sure you experience the opposite, which is more familiar to you, right?
Yeah.
When you go to bed and you're really pissed off, and you wake up in the morning and you're pissed off straight away,
still
right?
in it.
So you see, if you can practice something what is beneficial to you, like 369, and you do the 9 affirmations as it already happened before you go to sleep, you're already preparing your vibrational atmosphere that you're gonna re-enter first in the morning, and that will make things even easier. So 369.
Try it. So challenges, do that for 33 days. Should we say that?
With a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what? Just do it.
Exactly. Just do it. But
Just
I
do
just
it.
put a date on it.
People.
But notice so whatever you're writing, I think it's also important to say is that start noticing when parts of that start coming through. And thank you. Say it out loud. Thank you for that.
And that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I even told you, today
no.
what I've manifested. We're not
Yeah.
gonna go into that, but I'm manifesting things left, right, and center just purely because I do what we are telling you here
This
right
lake
now.
wasn't even here. She just manifested it. It just came out of nowhere. I think that's some really good tips there. I mean, there was another one I'd seen, which I'm also doing, just maybe to finish up. So I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, how can I give it? So let's say you're looking for maybe, I'll use financial. So number one, a low amount, say low amount is a lot, but £1,000. Two, a little bit higher, say three. Number three, so it's kind of spaced here, here, here. Number four there, three, say £10,000. Or number four, something like £25,000, whatever. And then write how it would make you feel. So different emotions underneath each of those. And then what you would do with it. So, you know, you could go from, you know, feeling good to just amazed on the last one. So it's going to be your emotion. So my brain's gone again. Then maybe what you would do with it. So it might be, the first one might be, you know, you're going to buy something nice. Second one, you might invest it. You might clear off some debts. And the last one, you're going to really, you know, treat yourself. And spend some time thinking about that. So again, that's 17 seconds or whatever it is, just to think, imagine you having it on each of those. Put a circle around each of those, and then a circle that would link in the middle, that links up all the four and activated. And try that. Different methods, really. We'll have to do it in a proper. A shame we didn't bring something to write down and show, but I think you get the gist, basically. Yeah.
And again, this is something what I said on one of my TikToks, but I'm gonna say it here.
Oh, Angg, gotta check out Angg's TikTok. There's some, you're dropping loads of great stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I do appreciate your opinion of my TikTok. Remember, pick one, okay? One practice. You don't have to practice all of those. I think sometimes we just become greedy and we just test other techniques just to see, you know, if they work better than others.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just give a good run with one practice. Give it time, because especially when you're new to those things, and this is another thing, right? When you're new to those things, it will take time. Okay, you won't manifest things, you know, just straight away. You can also start with small things, not big things, just to prove to yourself that those things are working, right? But what I wanted to say, you know, when you pick one technique and run it from A to Z, right, and you practice it, let's say for 33 days, right, it's guaranteed you're gonna get good results, really good results. Making notes of things that are already manifesting is also a good way of affirming and just proving to yourself the technique is working. Because if you are one of those people who want to believe in manifestation techniques and they start collecting them and they keep talking about it but they never use them, it's just like having a library, beautiful big library of beautiful books, and it looks beautiful on outside, but if someone asks you what those books are about, you know, they have no clue because they just know how, you know, them on outside. It's just ridiculous, right? So don't be a collector of manifesting techniques. Just get one and run through it from A to Z, and then pick another one and just have fun with it, you know, and see what happens.
Exactly.
Magic will happen. Magic is already happening.
Oh, look, 33:11 on the clock there. I think that's a good way to finish up for this episode. It's probably a bit shorter than normal, but I think you've got some really golden nuggets.
Doesn't have to be long,
yeah,
you know,
definitely,
to be valuable,
definitely,
right?
Definitely.
It's not quantity, it's a quality.
Yeah. We got some. I think we got some interviews brewing up, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we do. It's gonna be amazing.
So some were collaborating together. Some were. You just got to follow.
We're manifesting left, right, and center.
That's it. All right. Peace, love, 00.
1 0 0 1 1 0. Check this out and let me know if you know what it is.
All right. Yeah. Drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all.
Ciao.